Hello everyone, I am a student at Flushing High School and you are listening to Dreams Across Borders, a Flushing High School podcast. This podcast is where we share stories about moving, growing, and everything in between. In today's episode, I'll be discussing the migration and immigration story of my father. It all started with a dream for a better life, a better future, not just for my dad, but for his family back in Mexico too. Money was the dream, it's what everyone wants. Growing up in poverty in Tiplipa Pueblo de Mexico, my dad saw the United States as a land full of opportunities, a place where he could work, earn, and send money back to his family so they can maintain stability. My dad was raised by his mother alongside his older sister and younger brother. Mexico was home. He loved it as it was part of who he is, but the environment wasn't always kind. Food was hard to obtain as they didn't have much, and had to work hard for a little reward. Farming and taking care of animals brought in only a small income. Everyone had to pitch in to get by. My dad was on the farm with his younger brother looking after the animals, while his sister helped by cleaning. Aside from having to work, school was something he truly loved and enjoyed. He enjoyed studying and playing basketball during lunch with his friends, in which they were given an hour. Some disciplines they faced when misbehaved was the teacher would hit students with rulers or throw chalkboard erasers at them. This made him stay in line, so he never got in trouble. Unfortunately, due to financial struggles, he could only finish elementary school. The rest of his time was needed to work and support his family. Seeing this struggle, he eventually decided it was best for him to migrate to the United States, to obtain and send money to his family in Mexico. His older sister had gone first, so he had to wait for his chance and save what little he could, as it was expensive. Eventually, his time came, and at just 15 years old, with the help of his sister and his own savings, he prepared to leave, packing a bag full of clothes, ready to begin the dangerous journey, leaving his family and friends behind, along with his love for school. His mom didn't want to send him, but she knew it was best for him. He met up with his cousin and other immigrants ready to start the journey. They traveled every night, getting no sleep, walking through the desert, swimming across the river, praying not to drown, all while avoiding capture. Before my dad could make it to the checkpoint, he got caught by ICE and was sent back to the border area, but that didn't stop him. He had to wait for a few days before being able to continue. Now waiting will get him arrested and sent back to his house, which will take up more time and money. So after waiting a few days, he tried again, only taking him one night to get to the checkpoint, where my dad gave the people who held immigrants to the United States the money. They allowed him to stay in a hotel, where my dad was able to sleep for a few hours and eat a meal. While the helpers prepared my dad and other migrants for a plane to the United States. Finally, after 3 long weeks of hardships and a final flight, he arrived in the United States. He was very excited for what the United States has to offer, however nervous with being in an unfamiliar place. His first stop was Yonkers, where his sister lived, and helped him adjust. Everything was new. He had to learn how to cook, cross the street, take the subway, and navigate a culture so different from his own. He was shocked and happy that the United States has pizza and Nesquik, as it didn't exist in his hometown. Another thing that shocked him was the immigrants here didn't want to speak Spanish or express their culture, which was disappointing to him. Learning English was hard for him, but he pushed through and was able to understand it, but still having difficulties speaking it up to this day. Coming here, he had no fear. He figured since there's a lot of people in the United States, it'd be hard for the government to keep track of all immigrants, despite it being day or night. Back in Mexico, they were not allowed to be out at night, as it would cost a trip to prison till morning. After living in Yonkers for a while, he later moved to Queens to live with his cousin and friends at an apartment, still adopting every day. He often faced discrimination and racism. People would often say, "You're in the US, you're supposed to speak English." One experience in court stood out when questioned by a judge about fighting. The judge said, "Why are you fighting in court? You're Hispanic. You can't speak English." My dad bravely responded, saying race has nothing to do with defending yourself. Despite the language barrier, he won the case, proof that standing up for yourself matters no matter where you come from. Finding work at 15 was tough, but through connections, he found a short-lived job at a Chinese restaurant. He would help out with things like cleaning and washing dishes. He only worked for 2 days and earned very little, but it was better than nothing. Soon after, his friends introduced him to construction, where he learned on the job. My dad's Dominican friend would take him to work with him and allow him to help out, which helped expand my dad's knowledge on construction. It was a difficult time made lonelier by the distance from his family, even those who are already in the U.S. Eventually, he met my mom. They moved in together and later relocated to New Jersey, hoping for a better job prospect. But a year later, with no job found, they decided to return back to Queens, renting another apartment, starting their family, me and my siblings. By creating a family, my dad knew that there was no going back to Mexico. When my mom left, my dad took full responsibility, determined to support us on his own. Life in the U.S. changed him. He gained weight as he felt the freedom to eat a lot, day and night. His skin lightened from spending less time in the sun, as the sun shines a lot more in Mexico compared to the U.S. And he picked up many skills through observation and hard work, such as flooring, painting, and fixing bathrooms. Due to this knowledge, it became a dream to work in the construction field. Compared to when he was in Mexico, he had no dream at all. Getting the opportunity to work in the construction field allowed him to improve his skills and get his own job as he grew older, meaning more hours and more money. What began as a survival turned into a passion. He finally had a dream of building a life, owning a car, and creating a family legacy through hard work. Though a part of him still misses Mexico, his culture, his memories, his roots, he finds peace in the family he built here. He says it was all worth it. He may not have a lot of money, but he has what matters most, a home, a family, and the chance to give his children the life he never had. Overall, he is pretty happy with all he's done here and accomplished. Creating his own family and having the ability to take care of them, getting a job where he would get compliments, and getting his first car. This journey has been an adventure. It wasn't scary nor fun, because having to swim here, he prayed that he would not drown. From this journey, he learned to never stop, never give up when you want something. If anything, work harder. To anyone wanting to migrate, he would suggest it, though some of you won't like it. His hopes for us, his children, are simple: to study, to be responsible, and to be good parents. His dream of owning a house remains, but regardless of what comes next, he will never forget where he came from, and he will always pass that pride in his heritage to us. His ideal plan was to come to the United States, make money, and return back. However, he believes he accomplished something greater. Seeing all that he's been through has pushed me to work hard and accomplish what he hopes for me. Focusing on my studies, to earn a well-paying job, and to gain the money that will allow him to relax for the rest of his life. As time passes by, I hope to make his dreams come true, for giving me and my siblings the life he couldn't have, and for sacrificing everything for us to be where we are today.
Thank you for listening to Dreams Across Borders, a Flushing High School podcast. This episode was written and produced by students at Flushing High School. In response to the current political climate, we have chosen to remain anonymous to ensure both safety of our participants and ensure their voices will be heard. If you enjoyed this episode, please take some time to donate to one of the following charities that provide services to refugees and immigrants in our communities. If you need legal advice or help, please reach out to these charities as well. International Rescue Committee, Doctors Without Borders, Refugees International, National Immigration Law Center, Make the Road New York, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees.